Tesla just broke into Europe, and this changes everything for full self-driving. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why this approval in the Netherlands is not just local news. This could unlock Europe, influence Japan, and reshape Tesla's global autonomy strategy, and more importantly, what this means for Tesla as a long-term investment. So let's start with what actually happened. Tesla's full self-driving, or FSD, has been approved by the Dutch regulator. But here's the key detail. This is still level 2. That means it's supervised. The driver must stay attentive and be ready to take over at any time. Now, most people stop here. They say, okay, nothing new. Tesla still isn't fully autonomous. But that's not the real story. The real question is this: why the Netherlands? Will this spread across Europe? And does this have any impact on Japan? Because if you understand these 3 questions, you understand the real meaning of this news. Let's start with the Netherlands. This is actually the most important part. The Dutch regulator, known as RDW, is one of the most influential certification authorities in Europe. Many automakers don't just randomly choose where to launch. They start here. Why? Because approval in the Netherlands often becomes a gateway to the rest of the EU. So this isn't just one country saying yes. This is a signal that Tesla has passed a system that is recognized across Europe. From an investor perspective, that's a completely different level of significance. Now there's another layer to this. Tesla's European base is in the Netherlands. That means everything, from testing to compliance to regulatory communication, is easier there. This is not coincidence. This is strategy. Tesla is positioning itself where friction is lowest and expansion is fastest. And if you look at Tesla historically, this is exactly how they scale. They don't go everywhere at once. They pick strategic entry points and then expand. And here's the third reason the Netherlands matters. It's strict. Regulations there are not easy. So if Tesla gets approval in that environment, it sends a very strong signal. This is not just approved. This is approved under high standards. And for something as sensitive as autonomy, that matters a lot. Because regulation, not technology, is the real bottleneck. So let's zoom out. The Netherlands is not just a country, it's a gateway into Europe. Now, the next question. Will this actually spread across Europe? This is where things get interesting. Europe operates under a shared regulatory framework called UNECE. Think of it as a common rulebook. Tesla's FSD is being approved within that framework. So what does that mean? It means once something is accepted within this system, it becomes much easier for other countries to adopt it. But, and this is important, it's not automatic. Each country still has the authority to decide. So just because it's approved in the Netherlands doesn't mean it instantly works everywhere in Europe. So what's the conclusion? High probability of expansion, but not instantly. This will likely happen step by step, country by country. And if you misunderstand this, you might overestimate short-term impact. But if you understand it correctly, you see the long-term trajectory. Now, let's talk about Japan, because this is where it gets really interesting. At first glance, you might think this has nothing to do with Japan, but actually it does, a lot. Japan also follows the UNECE framework, and its regulatory system is built on similar international standards. So when something is approved in Europe under this framework, it becomes a reference point for Japan. In other words, Europe becomes a test case. But there's a reality check here. Japan is a very challenging environment. The roads are narrower, the traffic patterns are more complex, and the expectations for safety are extremely high. And then there's the biggest issue. FSD is still level 2. This creates a regulatory gray area, because even though it's technically level 2, what it's doing feels much closer to autonomous driving, and that makes it harder to regulate. So what does that mean? The probability of FSD coming to Japan just went up, but the timing is not immediate. If I had to estimate, it's likely after Europe expands further. Then Japan follows with some delay, maybe 1 to 2 years. But the key point is this: the door is now open. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture, because this is the most important part of this entire story. Most people think this is about technology. Tesla's FSD got approved, but that's not the real breakthrough. The real breakthrough is regulatory. For years, FSD has been something that worked mainly in the United States. It was powerful but isolated. Now, for the first time, Tesla is entering one of the strictest regulatory environments in the world. That changes everything, because in the long run, autonomy is not just about who has the best AI, it's about who can operate within global rules, and Tesla is starting to do that. This is Tesla moving from a tech experiment to a global system player. So this news is not the finish line, it's the starting line. The Netherlands is just the first step. From here, we watch Europe, then Japan, and eventually the rest of the world. And as long-term Tesla investors, this is what really matters. Not just whether FSD is approved today, but whether Tesla is building a pathway to scale autonomy globally. Because in the end, the winners in this space won't just be the ones with the best technology. It will be the ones who win the rules. That's it for today. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe. I break down Tesla, AI, and the future of mobility every day. And as always, enjoy your life with Tesla. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.